Happy Friday! Oh, I love Fridays. I don't know if you guys like Fridays, but I love Fridays. And school is back in session here at the Conroe area. And I love being a crossing guard. I love seeing those kids. It's like giving me a little boost of energy and rejuvenates me, even though it's extremely hot outside. But I love doing that. So, the dies we are playing with today. I am loving this Cascade pop-up. I did one last week for Happy Birthday to Michelle, and I'm playing with it again today. So I don't know how many of you guys watch Karen's assembly videos, but she does an assembly video with every one of her dies. It's like having your private tea class every time you buy one of her dies, and which is so wonderful and so nice. And her assembly video for this particular die, this is my apple for back to school. It kind of looks like a tomato, but we did an apple. Anyway, that's my squirrel brain. her assembly video on this Cascade pop-up is using the mealtime elements and the waffles, and then it's the stamp. Oh, did I pull up the stamp? I did. Where it says love you. She did the love you a brunch, sending you a waffle lot of love. So cute, so cute. I watched it a few times before I did the card last week, and I'm like, I just want to make that card. I don't know if you ever watch her assembly videos and you just like, I just want to make that card. Well, I didn't have the exact paper products as Karen did to make the exact same card as her assembly video. So I had to fudge a little bit, and then I made a few creative choices inside. Like I wanted to put this crosshatch heart on the front where she put the plate in the center, and then she had a fork and a knife on either side of the plate. And then instead of doing two prints over here, she put a band in the center here with that band that said, love you brunch. So that part I changed up a little bit, and then I changed it up a little bit too. And this paper by Graphic 45, it's part of their adventures. It's something adventures. I don't know. It's kind of a masculine adventure line. It's like camping type thing. It's part of that line. And doesn't it look perfect for waffles? I was so happy about it. Like, yeah, Waffle Lot of Love. It's just, anyway, I was happy about it. So then here is the inside with the little Waffle Lot of Love. And I used some sort of a Star Dream metallic paper on the plates, and it gives that nice little rich little glare. And I think this is where I made a few creative choices. I put the print on either side where she just had it solid. And then I added I added these cake trims. I love these cake trims where we have this little beaded border here. And then this heart comes with the Cascade. This little heart there does. And then with the Cascade pop-up, it comes with these flowers. And I love these flowers. Let me just say something about these flowers. So these flowers in here, they come in the twist flower pop-up in 3 little teeny tiny ones. And now we've got 3 different more sizes. I'm like, oh, how cool is that? That's really cool. Super cool. All right, so let's go ahead and make this card. I didn't do any pre-assembly work for you, but we'll see what we can do, because I want to make the whole card, because I know people will, when they buy the kit, they're going to want the video to assemble it. And as I was chatting to my friends that buy the kit, they were like, well, are you going to put this part together? And because I make a bunch of the animals or something ahead of a time. So they tell me, well, say that at the beginning of the video so we know to fast forward it or something. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just make this whole card step by step. It might be a little bit longer than our 30 minutes, so I don't want to completely bore you, but this is how I'm going to do it this time. All right, so when cutting this paper out, this is a part of Echo Park's new Christmas line, Baking for Christmas, or Baking Christmas Joy. I think it's Baking Christmas Joy. Look at those cute gingerbread out. Those are adorable, but I think this is beautiful. It's gonna work perfect for our little waffle card here. So, and these one here were just cut, I think 3 1/4 or maybe 3 1/2. I don't know, something like that. So you're just giving us enough to give us a little bit of border on either side. So let's go ahead and get that put on. I think I've matched it up in the center, but not that it matters, because that pop-up takes up pretty much a lot of the center, and See, is this where it did? Thought I had it matching. Yeah, that's where it matches. All right, so we're gonna fold up this side here so we can get it nice and even there. And then we will go ahead. See if I remembered the right side. Does that match up there? I'll go switch it around. And there it goes. There's our match. There's our match. And then our cute little adventurous. This is just like a brown tone. I think this is what they consider their, Graphic 45 considers their solids. We've got some sort of small pattern on the one side, and it's kind of a splotchy brown on the other side. But to me, it looked like waffles. So, this is a perfect little waffle paper for a Waffle Lot of Love. Karen is so creative with her stamps and her wording. I wonder if she sits there when she's making them. I gotta ask her one of these times. She's giggling, like, "Oh, I think that's funny." Of course, I'm gonna use it anyway. I would be giggling because I think they're super cute. All right, let's go ahead and do it this way. So now we have our outer papers. I'll just be doing the basic. So for the front of the card, I thought I'd do something. You know, this is an A2, standard A2 size. And so if you were going to wallpaper the whole thing just solid, it would be a 5 1/4 by 4. So I did cut this a 4 by 5 1/4. And I think I wanted the waffle to be on the top. And so then I just cut 1 inch off the back, 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch, 1 inch 1/4 off the bottom. Yeah, 1 1/4. And I'm just going to split it. So this will be my front of the card, and this will be the reverse, which can be the back of the card. So that way you're just cutting the two papers twice, and you get a nice fun look on both sides. So on this here, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and glue it together with some score tape. I think this is kind of a fun trick. So let me get some score tape out, and we'll just get that seam as tightly together as possible. And I'm going to take the score tape across that seam to create one piece. On that one, on the back, I'm not going to do it that way, just the front. Because I want to add ribbon. So we're going to then peel off our, okay, so I love getting my nails done, but I don't love if I can't pick up the score tape piece. That part is hard. All right, there you go. Take some ribbon, and I want to do one end, just a little piece at the end on one side, and then bring the other end so it looks like it's directly across from the other side. And now we have the ribbon attached. Smithville, Texas. Ah, I don't even know where Smithville, Texas is. Ah, where is Smithville, Texas? Well, welcome from Smithville, Texas, Dina. Glad you joined me. So here, oh, I don't want to get this ribbon in the backside. So, okay. That way now I have my tape on my paper, and the score tape in the center is going to help hold that as well. So I will now set this whole thing on as one unit on the front of my card. And then I got to decide, okay, where do I want my my knot to be? And I'm going to bring, I want it over to this side, so I'll bring my ribbon together and do a little pinch. And if you want it to stay like super flat and you don't want it to be loosey-goosey, you can put some score tape here as well. But I don't mind loosey-goosey here. And then go ahead and cut it at the top of your loop. And I want to do a square knot, so I'm going to go take this left side and go over the right side. Then I'll take this part over here and go over the opposite way. And then I'm going to get a square knot. And that's when you're going to get that pretty little loop in the front like that. Like there. And then you can trim it off. Okay, so that's that part. And then let's go ahead down the back. We're going to go ahead and put it on normally, because we're going to do something a little different on the back. I don't know why I can't leave my back of my card unfinished, but I do like to finish it off on the back side as well. And because we're keeping this on the bottom, I'm just keeping it on the bottom too, so saving the same pattern there, and then this will butt up and get glued on the top part. Okay, so there's our basic wallpapering. Now we're ready to go on the inside of the card and get our pop-up done. And because it's just easier to do this trim ahead of time, so when we got here, the trim on the side, I don't want to get in the way of my plates or anything. I'm going to go ahead and add my trim first, and then we'll go right to the pop-up. So on the border, these are that cake borders, and it cuts 3 sizes. It cuts a really long piece, and it cuts, oh, what happened to my short pieces?
What are you missing?
It comes with a short and a long. Did you only give me the long pieces?
Oh, I didn't know there were short pieces.
Yeah, when you cut the whole thing out, there's a short and a medium and a long. Anyway, comes with two different sizes. So if you take the longest piece, and this on this side, I'm going to go up from the bottom up to the top. Just a second. Thank you. Yes. So we have medium size. Not that I need all these, but I'll show them different size. So it comes with a long, a medium, and a short when you cut it from the cake trims, which I think is wonderful. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to go down from the bottom, and I'm going to let that circle hang over just a little bit over the edge, and take it right over the top. And then I'm going to cut the short guy in half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 little circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to cut it straight. I'm not even going to worry about making sure it's curved like the other one. I'm just going to cut it right in half. And then on this side, I'm going to flip this around and let my natural side, the die cut side, come up to the top and let my gap be here in the middle. And this is where I'm going to take this cute heart that comes with the cascade and put it in the gap. Then on the other side, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to start the long one on the base. And by doing this, we're going to get kind of an even pattern all the way down. Okay, so we're going to start with the long this time. Let that circle just go slightly over your seam, your edge. And then we'll take the other short piece, other 4 short one, and come up there. And then we'll take another heart and put it in our seam over here. Cover up that gap that's showing. All right. Now it's time for the pop-up. I love this pop-up so much. I think I'm going to be doing my Friday cards with this pop-up for the next few weeks because it's so fun and it's so easy. And I love what it does. I love all the motion it gives you. All right, so we have this funky shape. And there's score lines. Kind of see them if I tilt it. So these first ones, starting at this angle, these are mountains. But I like to do a valley for the first one every time just because it breaks the fold nice and crisp. So these 2 are mountains, mountain folds. Then we're going to come up here and you're going to see 2 horizontal folds right there. Let's see if I get it just right. There you go. These are valleys. Make sure they're good. All right, and then coming down where this funny little gap is here, this is also a mountain, so I'm going to break it towards me. Both of these are mountains, but I'm going to break it towards me first and then put it back to a mountain fold. And then these are also mountain folds. Oh, I think these are actually valleys. These are going to be valleys, valley, valley. And these are mountains. Mountain. The beauty of this is if you do buy this kit, then you can pretty much watch her assembly video and craft along with her, other than this part choices are different, but the rest is pretty close to what she did. All right, because that card is so cute. All right, so mountain, mountain, mountain. Okay, when putting this on, this part right here, this mountain fold, this angle right here, this angle that's cut is designed to go right on the fold here. Like this. And it can go anywhere, but I'm going to put it up here towards the top. And so I'm going to put glue all over this part. Oh, Now I probably should have put that other little piece in before I put this on, but I know she does in her video. But for me, I always put it on backwards. So I know when I'm doing her assembly video, when I watch her assembly video, she puts it on first before she glues this piece on. But I have learned for me, it's easier to wait till I get this part glued down, because then I know I'm putting it on the right side, because I have a tendency to put it on the wrong side. Okay, so this is our first fold, and that's not the fold we're going to work with. We're going to work the second fold, and it's going to come in here. Now we have those 2 valley folds. So we're going to go to that first valley fold and fold it over. And this tells me which side to put our other pop-up side on. Now this is a kind of a latch piece in, and it's got a little score line here. And then it's got a score line here. And then this little notch right there, it slides right into the notch here on this part. So I'm just going to kind of curve it a little bit with my nails. Just a little curve, because if you look at this side right here, it's kind of got like a slight curve to it here. Let me get closer so the camera so you can see that slight curve. So by giving that slight curve, then it's going to slide in a little bit more gentle. If I curve it just right, get it just to slide in and wiggle it. Whoops, almost let it click. And you're going to hear it click. I don't know if my microphone is too far away to hear the click, but you should hear the click. Oh. Come on, there it is. It's in. It's in. Okay, so now we folded it on the first score line. That other second score line is right here. So we have that little gap right here. Now this is going to fold back this way, and then on that first score line, we're going to come back up. And that will lay nice and straight. And you got the little tab here, right here at the tip, this little tab. And then this one will fold at the first score line, leaving your 2 tapered tabs here, and I'll come up closer. So you've got the tapered tab, and then you've got this funky piece right here that's going to get the glue. So we're going to put glue on this part right here, and then on our tab, and on our tab. And then we're going to go, I love this part, we just shut the card and let the magic happen. Okay, now we have these short pieces left. And I'm going to take one short piece and one middle-sized piece and one short piece. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back of the card. And I'm going to take the longer side and put it towards the left side. So, you know how some people have some really funky stamps that they could put on the back, handmade by whatever. This just decorates the backside, and we only need, I think, oh, we only need 4 of them because we're going to have that heart there, but let's just chop some off. I'm going to chop off 3 of them and turn it around so the cut part is in the center behind the heart. Get that on that side, and we'll add another heart here. All right. By this time, we should have our pop-up ready to open. All right. All right, so this first side, this part of the pop-up is working. Now to get the rest of the part working, we're going to kind of help it out, lift it up. Where those 2 tabs have got it glued down right there on the bottom. See, those are glued down. Now this part is where we get to start decorating already. All right, because this part here is going to fold over and then glue onto this other side, and that's going to help pull the other action, pull this over and cause the action to happen on this side of the pop-up. So this side's working, this side will work as soon as we attach it. But we've left this open because now we get to put a plate on. So one of the dies in the set has a little slit in it, and I've just taken and put some score tape on the back side because when you do so, you don't have to emboss and die cut. You can just run it through once and you get both. And then I did her sentiment on here as well. So let's go ahead and peel this free, get it on. There we go. All right, now I just need to line it up with the slit and center it on the other circle, and it's such a perfect fit. Some clever engineer must have designed it that way. Isn't that perfect? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put glue on this little ledge right here, this little shelf. And I put it on the tab too. So the little tab on this other side right here, I put some little glue on that and a little bit of glue on there because it's kind of, it lays flat. So put a little glue there and a little glue there. And then we could slide this down on and then get it glued on. So I'm just gonna glue there, and I'm gonna get behind where the tab is. Pinch it there. And now we have our first plate on. And we can attach it by putting tape glue on the tapered tab here on the inside of it. And this way I'm going to fold it over the top. So it goes onto the back side of that other side. And now the whole pop-up should be working. A2 is the smallest size card you can work with this pop-up because watch this. When this, see how it looks this way? When it shuts over here, see where that plate's going? It's going to go right to the edge of that. Oh, mine's kind of sticking out a tiny bit. Not supposed to, but it is. Maybe. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna embrace that. Anyway, the A2 is the smallest you're supposed to do, and I don't know why it's not working perfectly, but it's pretty darn close. See, it's just right there at the end. So A2 is the smallest you could do. Okay, so for this middle plate to be done, we're just gonna add our little bit of love by adding one more heart. And that's going to be on the top of our plate here. And that plate is completely done. Now, we have 2 more plates. So they all have the score tape on the back. And we're just going to center them on the plain circle that comes with that die. And that is the same size as this one, but it doesn't have that extra die that cuts that slit in it. That one on. It's like these plates have a little bit of Laura, I need one more brown circle.
Oh, okay.
Try not to lift up on it because it's bending. It's showing an indentation. Trying to keep my plates pretty here. All right. All right. So on the waffle, I stacked 2 pieces of paper on top of each other. And for me, it didn't cut all the way through on the second one, but it did cut all the way through on the second, but it did kind of did a little embossing feature on the bottom one, but it did cut all the way around the outer circle, which was great. So now I could just take this part. I had to knock off all of the pieces that kind of stuck to the bottom layer. And all I did was take my little spatula, this guy right here, and just kind of scratch them all off. And now I've got a perfect little waffle here. Now, after our little waffle gets toasted, it's probably a good idea if we take a little sponge and just ink up the edges a tiny bit. So it kind of looks like it's been toasted. And this waffle is going to be on the top plate, and it's going to be take the whole plate. It's going to be, the whole plate is going to be a waffle. And then we've got some butter. Look at this cute butter. It cuts out. I tried to get it on a sticky back, but apparently one piece got no sticker on the back side. So I'm just going to put a couple of splats of butter right here. And then for the syrup, using some packing tape on the brown, we ended up getting a shiny syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue on our syrup. And there is the waffle for the top plate. Pretty cute. All right, so then on the bottom plate, we're going to add the waffle again. Let me get it glued together. This time I'm going to cut it in pieces. So we'll get it glued together. So have you ever tried to go to Kieran's assembly video and say, gosh, I really love, you're really inspired by the actual assembly video itself, and maybe take papers out of your stash that are similar and try to create the same card she did? That's kind of what I've done here. Just taking that same card inspired by her amazing talent and brains and just change up the paper I have. And that's how we came up with this. Okay, well, I've got my ink out. I'm going to grab the bacon. Now, I took the bacon. I couldn't get really the ink to show up on the little lines on there, so I kind of took a brown pen and kind of drew the little lines on there so they'd be more defined. And then I could go ahead and make a little bit more ink on my sponge. I'm just going to go ahead and get it inked up so it's nice and crispy cooked. I have some kids of mine that love it, like where it's almost burnt. It's like it's so crispy. And then I got some that like it barely cooked, like, oh. I'm kind of a middle kind of bacon lover. I love bacon. I'll eat it anyway because I love it that much. But I think I'm more of a mid cooker. I like it to be a little crispy when I bite into it. But not, I don't know. My husband cooks it all well done, and it's really good and yummy. I was like, have you cooked some of them so they're not so crispy? All right, so we got our bacon. All right, so this one's going to have, the next plate's going to have the bacon, and we're going to do half of the waffle. So we're going to cut it and make waffle wedges. This way you get the waffle look, and you can come back and ink those edges too, but I don't think it's necessary because that's where, you know, it was kind of cut that way. I'm just going to, when you cook it, they cut it. I don't know. I didn't think it was necessary. I'm just going to cross them and then put glue on it and then put it on my plate. And then I'm going to put glue down and add some bacon. And then we've got our little slab of butter. And then we can add a little bit more syrup. While we're doing plates, we might as well finish up and do the plate that goes on the front of the card. That's where we're going to take and add eggs to our plate. I think my camera's getting most of me off the camera. I got to get better at that, sorry. All right. So we've got our 2 waffles. We're going to do the exact same thing we did with the bacon plate. I'm just going to kind of cross them over each other a little bit and glue the back side on. Get that on there. And this time we're going to take some eggs. So here's our egg whites. I think it's, you know, maybe I'm not that good of an egg fryer, but I kind of get a little crispy on the outside of my eggs because I like them over easy. So we're gonna, not over easy, but sunny side up. So it kind of gets a little toasted on the. All right, and I'll put egg here and egg here. And then we've got our yolks, our little sunny side up eggs. Well, I used a small printed yellow print to give it a little two-tone-ish look. And look at there, now we have eggs. Look at our cute little brunchy breakfast. So fun. We got our last slab of butter. I was getting too excited. And our last swirl of syrup. Finishing touches, finishing touches. Get that last little bit of syrup on there. I think this card is absolutely adorable. I showed my granddaughter who's 4 and she goes, yum. She thought it was so cute. I have a plan for this card. Can't wait to send it off. Okay, so we got our little plates done. So on the top here, we're going to go ahead and glue this one on the top, and we can kind of go up pretty much as we want. When it closes down, it's going to close down over this way. So we don't want to lean this way. We want to lean more towards the top. I feel like giving it more on this edge, so kind of giving the plate closer to this edge allows you to see the sentiment as well. So we want to place it so we can see our sentiment, keep it kind of over in this generic, and I'm going to press it slightly to make sure we're good, and we are. Oops, that was such a good placement too. Match up my glue spots. Now I got to make sure it stays. And now for our last little platform back here, it's under here. We want to lay it out so that it's coming out as much as we want it to. We can stick it out so it's close to this line here. It's not going to go too far. It's just going to slightly tilt over. So we can get it, this edge of the plate could go pretty close to this line or even surpass that line. So I'm just going to put glue on this outer edge of the platform. Let's see if you can see that. It's just on the outer edge. It's not covering the entire platform. It's just on this outer edge because I want it to stick out, sort of. All right, we're gonna let that sit and kind of dry a tiny bit. Then I have one last plate here, and this one here is not done on that shiny surface, but it is on the a cream color that's the same color as the shiny one, but just a plain, so that, because this shiny one, you have to be careful what kind of pin you use to sign your card with. So this one here is your signature spot. And oh, my teeth is kind of overlapping. Let's see if I can find just that sweet spot to get this off. There we go. But still put the score tape on it, so I got the the look of the embossed look without having to run it twice through. All right, so I'm going to have that be over here as the signature spot. Reaching over for that glue, and it's not there. I got to just move it over to my right side because I'm crossing over to get it every time. So let me just get that glue over here. Make it a little easier on myself. Okay, there it is. Then we also have this area right here that we can decorate. And so this size circle comes in it, and it's got, with the print that I used, you can't really see that it's got these little holes on the back side, but it's a real decorative, cute decorative piece. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw a heart in the center of that. And I thought it would be fun to bring back the waffle print. And I wanted to make sure it was going straight up and down like the sides. So I'm gluing the heart so it looks straight up and down. And then we can glue that just right in here on that little ledge right in there. And I think it's easier just to put the glue right in the center where I want it. And then throw on this little circle. It's a fun little added circle. There. I love all the movements that you see. And I just got to make sure it's high enough that it doesn't scrape or catch on the syrup when it's sliding down, and I think we're good. And you got to make sure you're over enough here so it kind of gives enough folding space there, and we're good. All right, so our final pieces are these adorable silverware, and I cut them out of gold just like Karen did in her video, and I did a little crossover. Now Karen in her video, she did add a fork and a knife on the top part, and then she used the green, not green, she's cut it in gold, but she used the little vine set that came with this piece. Can't come off my words. She cut these in gold and spread them out, sprinkled them out through where I'm putting the forks. And I thought, I don't really want a garden scene with those, so I chose to change the placement of where she put those pretty much to a little fork and knife, and I'm trying to not get a lot of glue on the front side of this because it's gold, and I'm placing it to this side because anything on this side over here, I can put a little dot under the fork, will tend to go back over to the side of the card, and we want to keep it in the card. I think I could put a little bit of glue under the fork there. Alrighty. And then on the bottom, because it doesn't move too much, I could do that same cross pattern. I could put it on this side, creating that sort of a triangle effect of all the gold, shiny gold pieces. I'm just gonna lay a piece of glue right there. Keep my fingers off of this gold so it doesn't get unshiny. And lay my fork and knife there. Just give it a squish down. There we go. And extra glue. Then on this side here, we are going to add a little heart, and we'll do the fork and knife again right there. So I'm not going to glue it, but show you here. Just right there. All right, then our front. We're going to take our plate that we made with the eggs. And I was trying to think of what could be a napkin, you know, so for the knife and fork to lay on, so napkin. So I thought, okay, treat the heart kind of like a napkin, and then add our knife and fork over here. And then it kind of pulls in the lots of love. And then my sentiment piece is missing. I think I pulled it off. Laura, the love ya brunch. I don't have it over here either. I don't know what happened to it. It's not my tray. Anyway, so we're going to end with the love ya brunch and the easy placement of this, and of course trimming off your letters and your, not letters, but your ribbon pieces. And that's the card. Love ya brunch. Sending you a waffle lot of love. And that's my take on Karen's assembly video card. So I've been playing with this, and I want to give you a little sneak peek of what I'm working on for next week. And I got this pretty pink plush. It's not done yet, so... Oh, it was upside down. I'm so blind, sorry, Laura.
I was gonna say, I know it was in there.
It's upside down. Oh, my bad. Okay, so here's this cute little worm. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to put in her little arms here, but her little arms come up. And of course, I'll have to add some little grass stuff, and we're working on it. It's a work in progress. But I just kept thinking about, wouldn't this be so cool if the cascade turned into a worm? Look at our little bookworm. Anyway, of course, we got the details to finish on the inside. But this will be next Friday's card. You guys were watching, and you got a sneak peek. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope you have a marvelous weekend. TTFN. I think I better end with this card on top. TTFN. Bye.